Hello everyone. You're welcome to the first residency webinar for Southnord for the year 2026. My name is Georgette, and I am a project coordinator and communications lead at Southnord. For everyone that's joining us for the first time, we have a little housekeeping. Would like all participants to keep their videos off with the exception of our guest today. Keep your videos off and keep your microphones off as well. And at the end of the presentations, there'll be a period where you can ask questions and then you can turn your videos and your microphones on. And just to give you a bit of a background, South Nord is a leading cultural project dedicated to amplifying the voices and talents of Black artists in the Nordic region. It was established in 2023, and since then, we've provided a dynamic space for artists to create, collaborate, and share their unique perspectives. The project is led by my colleague, Zimbabwean-born curator and artist Marshall Hab Isaacson, and we foster exchange, dialogue, and cultural enrichment. As part of our mandate, last year we launched the Southnord Residency Programme, which is a 2-month residency which connects the Afro-diasporic artists situated in the Nordics to contemporary art scenes on the African continent. Our hope is that this offering leads to journeys of self-discovery and artistic exploration, a context unlike the one that the artists we're providing this to find themselves in. It's an immersive experience where you get to engage with the soul that holds your heritage and forge a relationship with fellow artists and curators. It's a 2-month residency, which we currently host in partnership with the Lusaka Contemporary Arts Center in Zambia and runs from October to January. You can find more information about it on our website, www.southnord.com/residency. Today, I'm joined by two wonderful spaces on the continent. One space based in Africa, one space based in Asia, but run by an African. Our first space is Nubuke Foundation. It's a leading Ghanaian contemporary art and cultural institution established in 2006. The foundation operates in 2 centers, one in East Legon, Accra, and the other in Lohowa in the Upper West region of Ghana. Nubuke's mission is to preserve, record, and promote contemporary visual arts and culture in Ghana and beyond. It functions as a dynamic platform for artists and cultural practitioners through exhibitions, publications, workshops, performances, talks, film screenings, and community engagement programs that local, regional, and international audiences can take a part of. Our guest is Odile Tevi, who is the director of Nubuke Foundation in Ghana. She graduated from University of Ghana in 1996 and has worked in various positions that I won't get into. I will allow Odile to walk you through her
I'm
artistic.
not sure I'm going to say that either.
You're not going to walk them through your experience? Okay. But Odile has a quote that I particularly like. She says that the foundation is concerned by the erosion of our culture, and she believes that it's necessary to protect the very essence of what makes us Ghanaian and something which will set us apart. Our second guest is T. Michael, who is the founder of an art space in Japan called T-Wabisato. It's a non-profit hybrid and cultural creative hub located in the Noto Peninsula in Ishikawa, Japan. It serves as a platform for artists, chefs, and cultural patrons to connect through immersive residencies, curated experiences, and cultural programming. Rooted in Japanese traditions and influenced by Ghanaian and Norwegian aesthetic sensibilities, T-Wabisato facilitates cultural exchange, creative exchange, cultural recalibration, and sustainable engagement with the local context by cultivating a space where creativity, culture, and community intersect. The space aims to blur boundaries between disciplines and traditions by fostering meaningful exchange between local and global voices. T. Michael himself is a Ghanaian Norwegian artist based in Bergen, Norway, whose work explores sartorial traditions and innovative design. His creative work comprises of his eponymous label, Norwegian Rain, T. Kimono, Film Love, which is short films, and now T. Wabisato. So welcome, Odile and T. Michael.
Great. Thank you, everybody. And I'm happy to meet with you guys. But it's something I've been wanting to do actually, just to figure out what's happening with the Norwegian, the Scandinavian community. I've spoken with Georgette, I think, in the last 6 months about what we can do together. How can we bring our communities together? We know that there are people who live in both our continents who have the capacity or the ability to do that. So I'm quite happy to have this conversation today. Georgette has said quite a bit, so I'll just add to that. So, Nubuke Foundation, 20 years ago, um, we very crazy individuals thought it was very necessary to create an opportunity for Ghanaian artists. In fact, the emphasis is on young Ghanaian artists because at the time we felt that the artists that we were working with as collectors or artists as well were more geared towards the late 30s and 40s. So the question was, where are the others? Where are the young artists? There's an art school. So where are they? Where aren't they practicing? Where can we find them? And that began the journey of Nubuke Foundation. The building on the right-hand side is our new gallery space that we built about 6 years ago. And the building at the bottom of the building of the screen is our space in the Upper West in so we are operating two completely separate programs, but the focus still is on people. About a few months ago, I met a young artist and he said to me, he just looked at me and said to me, "What is the point of all of this?" And I was taken aback by what he said, that what is the point? There is a point. For me, the point is that it's about people. Um, the we meet on our journeys, the people who is just an extra bit so that their lives can change, create opportunities for them through our networks and through the work that we can do for them and improve their livelihood. So that's what began in Accra and has extended to the Upper West region. In the Upper West region, doing some work there when we met a group of weavers, and they looked at my colleague who's an artist and said, "Oh, we want to work with you." And so just questions about how they work, the challenges they faced, began a series of workshops. And then we now have a center there, which has been running 2016 or so. Through that, we've done several collaborations with universities, communities, workshops with three different associations with over 2,000 men. And here over there is Upper Region of Ghana, which is right in the northwestern corner of Ghana. And here is Accra. So for me, it's a labor of love because it's only in the last 3 years that we now have direct flights to Wa. So they were 2-day journeys for us, or sometimes 18-hour journeys from Accra to the Upper West. The work that we've been doing, advancing the career for artists, takes, several shapes or forms. We have exhibitions, calls, residency programs. We have an artist development program. And the picture that you're seeing here is an artist called Katesi. She's from Uganda. She joined our residency program in the Upper West, which is working with waste um, clothing and also combining that with her skills in clay workshops. The work that we're doing in the Upper West is very much about the community. It is not a very it's not like a big metropolis. It's a very peri-urban neighborhood. So a lot of the work has to be community based. We bring people along to work with the artists. It's mutual learning. She's learning how to work with clay. They're also learning from her about her viewpoints on waste, clothing that is, coming into Ghana through all these channels, waste clothes channels. So she created a sculpture in our space. Um, yeah, we in addition to artists, I mean, one of the things that we know about art forms in Ghana is that we are not just experiencing art through one dimension. It's a very multi-sensory way of appreciating art. So we also place our artists within communities that can help them to really learn how to enrich their art, art practice and their concepts by bringing in, poetry, music, dance, performance, academia, and especially working with those who have the knowledge, traditional knowledge. Um, One of the reasons why we wanted to work in the Upper West also is because we felt there was a perception that only those who went to the formal school training could be called artists. And we wanted to sort of, we knew that we're in a position to counter that because we are now sort of coming in as a new institution. And we thought that, we can create these conversations where we are, challenging this creeping notions. So especially in the Upper West, we thought it was important to bring in the fusion of contemporary practice and what is already existing in Ghanaian society. So textile weavers especially, and those who are working with clay. So really the contemporary practice fused with the exists, which we believe enriches what they're doing. And also, as Georgette said, makes us very unique. Um, So we have an artist development program. Those are the two anchor programs that we do. The artist development is tailored to Ghanaians who are 23 to 30. They go through a very rigorous program with us for a few months, and they get a solo exhibition gallery. And also the artist residency takes always where we give them artists who are visiting or other creatives who want to writers, artists, opportunity to really immerse themselves in the community. Um, when you're within that community, you realize that it comes a sense of humility because you're learning from them and they're learning from you. So it's a different approach to working, and you need to make yourself available to take things on. I mean, this picture, children at the coming festival we want to become supporters and us to see the joint project going on there. As I said before, programs are ways that we are engaging. When we started 20 years ago, nobody was that interested in visual art. They wouldn't come to an exhibition. We had to do a lot of engagement with schools and also find other things people were interested in before they'd come into our space. So we use all these different, um, interests that people had, poetry, drama, music, to bring them into our space. It enriched our programming, but it also helped us to help to get the artists also within a bigger group of peers that they could do a lot of exchanges with. So with the weavers, we're doing design intervention programs, workshops, and that has now actually led to us establishing a festival. So the festival started in 2021 and is run for 5 years. We are changing the festival to become biennial so that we're doing it every 2 years just because of the toll it takes on the organization. But what the festival allows us to do is to promote the artisans and the weavers that are in the Upper West region. It also allows us to showcase all the dynamism that is taking place within the region. Um, and also an anchor for other creatives. So we do a lot of workshops in the year. We're doing master classes for film, for fashion, for literature, for drama, and all that is really in the festival. I like the word festival because you can throw anything at it and it embraces it. So anything that we want to do, we embrace it. The festival embraces that. We're working with women. The Upper West region is quite unique because in the whole of Ghana, um, the community of weavers are mostly men. But in the Upper West region, probably about 80% of the weavers are women. So that makes that work quite unique. And we're also working with two schools, the blind school and the deaf school, who are also doing weaving in furniture and also fabric. So the Artists in Residency Program, we ran that between June and November for 3 weeks to up to 3 months, and it's self-directed. So we really listen to what the artist in residency wants to do. As I said earlier, encouraged to engage with the community because we are totally immersed within weaving community and those who are making clay pots and all of that. So if you have that interest, we ask that we help you to we facilitate the meetings for you and introductions, whatever you want to do with them. We facilitate that. Yeah, depending on whatever it is that happens, you don't really need to produce a work, but if you do, we also have that ability to include that in our festival at the end of your program. I mean, the picture on the left is one of the artists who was in residency. She's called Rebecca Dimachi. She was there in 2024. And then the fees for participating, clearly the artist has to cover quite a bit because in our part of the world, we scramble to find money to support artistic programs. But when we do, we also use that to give the artists stipends. So accommodation, the facilities, flights, transfers, and then, anything else the artist wants to do is covered by the artist. So this is one of the artists in residency who was interested in the vanishing cotton yarn industry in the Upper West. So these are some of the few people who are left in the Upper West who are spinning cotton and then making them into yarns ready for the weavers. After they're spun, they're either dyed or made ready for the weavers. The artist here is called Alice Raymond. She's French. And she does quite a lot with weavers. Her whole concept is about using embedded language that is in our traditional woven strips and uses that in her artistic pieces. This was the first festival, actually, or maybe the second, but because we worked with the blind and deaf communities, we actually tasked artists to be quite intentional and think through about how does somebody engage with your art. This is our community. There are blind people, there are deaf people. What do you want to, what work are you going to create that is going to ensure that people can engage with your artwork? So she created this artwork, and as you can see, she's taken the blind students through. She created different posts within the artwork that were a meter long, so they could walk. It was almost like a totem pole of a story. So they could walk along this pole, and she used these posts to indicate stops, or she had the weaver weave specific motifs in the strip, which were telling stories. So that was a beautiful illustration of what can come out of these sort of dialogues with the community, and also being very intentional about your audience. So, as I said earlier, the Warrior Festival sort of embraces everybody, and we invite everybody to be part of it. It actually, even if you don't come to the residency program and you're interested in what we are doing with textiles and sort of advancing the textile in contemporary practice, we are happy to showcase your work within the festival as well. So yeah, this is just people who are in the festival. So we try to as I said, bring all kinds of people into the festival with different interests, and there they are playing a board game with one of the artists. So these are some of the links. When the links on our website take you to the festival, all the different years that the festival have taken place, more information about the residency program, our contact details, general info line, or the manager for the center. You can email him directly if you have a bit more questions about the residency program. And that's me done.
Awesome. That was very interesting and all-encompassing. Before we take questions, we'll just let T. Michael also present T-Wabisato, and then we'll take questions from our guests.
Fantastic. My name is T. Michael. I am based in Norway, from Ghana. I've been here for quite a bit now, and I do often go to Japan because I have work there and I have a store as well in Japan. One of my trips in 2020, I was lucky enough to be introduced to an area in the Ishikawa prefecture, to a place called Noto. Noto, it's a small little town with 17,000 people on the Ishikawa prefecture. I felt this beautiful, magical calm on the countryside of Noto, and I enjoyed the trip there. I think what I enjoyed the most as well was not just the calm, but also the opportunity of being able to be driven to all these wonderful craftspeople that live in around Noto. So within a period of maybe 25 to maybe an hour's drive, you get to meet various ceramicists, glass blowers, urushi, lacquer experts, and various artists. I found that very, very refreshing. And after a period of calm, you get to meet these people. You get super, super charged and super inspired. When I left, I thought it was such a shame that most people that are in need for a break like that don't get the opportunity. A place where you can go to and just practically reboot. A place where you can go and stay for a week or more, 4 weeks, 8 weeks. Your first week will just be to just relax, breathe well. And the second week, you start getting bored. Your demons will start coming looking for you. And this is where we step in. We will be there to facilitate the next move, where we'll invite you to go and visit different craftspeople in their studios, watch them do what they do best. And hopefully that would stimulate and recharge you in a way. And I think at that point, you start questioning the work you do in every which way you look at it. It will bring you to a point where you look at your work slightly differently. The influences around, the people around, would help you focus on what you should be focusing on, which is the energy and power you have on the inside. So T-Wabisato is a space where it's a creative. I decided to open a space, which is a creative, cultural, culinary compound, a place where all creatives can come in, irrespective of the form of work they do. We will have chefs coming in as well to do shorter residencies, where they will work with the local farmers, use the local produce, and create wonderful dinners for the locals and the artists that will come in. Other forms of creative people will be there as well. We have full bedrooms. We have a magical space. It's huge, it's massive. We'll have anything from saunas to a cleansing zone, tea rooms. And practically this is there to give you the calm that is needed to be able to think and reflect, and hopefully come up with profound work. We are renovating now. We hope to open autumn 2026. We'll be calling in creative people. We'll have some funding. Some people have to pay to get in. I can provide all this information when we have everything more comprehensive and clear in the next weeks or months to come. Again, T-Wabisato is located in Ishikawa Prefecture. It's a Noto town, and it's a space where I'm hoping we'll be able to connect my trifecta, which is Ghana, Norway, and Japan, in a space that respects all cultures, places the value that you have on the top shelf with other cultures, work with the locals, learn from the locals, and at the same time introduce your work to the locals. We're here to find a different way of working together. Sorry, a different way of curating work, and looking for a different narrative to bring to the world as it is. I would suppose in a space like this, you'll be able to explore all the things that you know, that's familiar, but at the same time, you'll be challenged by looking at things that are not so familiar. For me, that tension is where magic happens. I can also tell you that we have a gallery space as well at Noto, and this space will be dedicated to archiving and showcasing the work of artists, both local and international. It's a space where you will have the opportunity to also delve in other people's work when you get there, and be free and have a space where you can explore yourself and find great means of doing things. Thank you. If you need any more information, please ask questions, because I think the most important information I can give you is the one that you actually want to know yourself. So feel free.
Wonderful. So now the floor is open. Thank you, Odile. Thank you, T. Michael. For our participants, does anyone have any questions for our guests? You can just turn your microphone and your camera on, introduce yourself, and then ask your question and tell us who the question is for. While we wait for people to put their thoughts together, Odile, I had a question for you.
Okay,
So
sure.
we lost you just a teeny bit during your presentation, and I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about the artist residency, but then in the context of Afro-Nordic artists. So what's the potential opportunity for them? Is there accommodation? Are there funding opportunities? Do they have to find their own funding and then come to you? Just a bit more tangible information for anyone on this call who's looking to come to Nubuke for a residency.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have funding for supporting the artists. Occasionally, in fact, the last grant that we had, probably about 2.5 years, from about 2021 to 2023, we're able to support the artists. But it depends on what is going on and whether we're able to tap into any grant pool. So ordinarily, the artists will have to find their money, their flights, accommodation at the center, and what else did I say? Visa, all those sort of things have to be, yeah, the artists will have to do that themselves.
Okay.
So depending on what is going on, if you have a grant that
Mhm.
allows us to support the artists, we are happy to do so.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about studio space? So if, say, I said, okay, Odile, I've got funding, I want to come to Nobuke, what would be the structure? Would I have dedicated studio space or accommodation, or I'd have to find my own accommodation in Ghana? And
No,
what would that look like?
so all our residency programs take place in the Upper West region. So the center has got two buildings. One is where we have a multi-purpose space where we have a showcasing of art, conversations, and all of that. And there's another block which has got accommodation. I think the maximum amount of residents the space can take is 2 people. So we have 4 rooms, but we give up to 2 to artists in residency.
Okay.
Studio is like a open space, really. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then this question is for both of you, really. For your residency programs, what kind of artists are you looking to host? So textile artists, photographers, sculptors, and someone working in fashion, which is more of an applied arts. What type of artists would you want to apply for residency programs at your institutions?
I mean, I think we've had all of the above. We've had a cartoonist. Yes, exactly. He and no, not a cartoonist. He's a comic. What is somebody who does comics?
Animator.
Comic
Comic
artists.
maker, comic artist. Yeah, we had a comic artist. We've had textile artists. We've had fashion designer, and we've had somebody who just wanted to come in and learn from the community, learn a bit of um, weaving, just a way to open their minds into the different, you know, crafts that are taking place in the Upper West. So we are open, but I guess you just need to contact us and ask, you know, say what you want to come and do, and we see whether how best we can help you.
Okay.
And there are also some universities that we connected to. So those who might want to do research and want to be tapped into academia, that's also a possibility. I mean, we don't, yeah, we are open to all nationalities as well. So, yeah.
Okay. T. Michael?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I use the term as a creative cultural culinary compound because I think all sorts of creative people should be allowed in. I think it's a place where any form of expression is allowed. So it could be anything from music producers, it could be ceramicists, it could be fine art people, it could be designers, textile designers. Um, Practically any form of creativity is allowed in our space. I think it's a space for people that want to further whatever they've initiated. It's a space where you can take a little pause and then you can delve into whatever you want to do deeper, hopefully with the help of other creatives that we know in and around where we can introduce you to. So yeah, it's open for all, and it's important to have time to be able to enjoy what T-Wabisato has to offer. We
And it's
recommend
also, yeah, sorry.
We recommend a minimum of 4 weeks. Otherwise, we think it's not worth the trip. 8 weeks is it's probably the perfect duration.
Mhm.
Odile, you're gonna add something?
I was going to say that it's also great if the person is curious because you need to sort of be interested and ask questions before people open up to you. I mean, I think there's a vast difference between experiencing Accra and experiencing the Upper West. Wow. You need to be very open and happy to talk to people. Because I was even thinking about food, for example. I mean, anytime I go to the market and I see something unfamiliar, I ask them, how do you cook this, for example? So you really need to make sure you're somebody who's interested in people, willing to approach them and engage and experiment and see what your outcome is going to be. So yeah.
Okay.
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense, really. I suppose the Wa is almost as close as you can get to the Noto Japanese countryside because everything here it's different. It's a small little community, and if you're not willing to open your mouth and ask questions, engage, I suppose it would not be a very fruitful.
Nobody's gonna. Yeah.
Okay. So keep an open mind is what we've learned. Keep an open mind and love people and be curious in your craft so that you can get the best experience.
Mhm.
So now for our participants, does anyone have any burning questions that they really want to ask, either Odile or T. Michael or even me for South Nord?
Mhm.
We'll give it about 5-ish minutes and see if there are any questions that would pop up.
There must be some questions out there. Come on, people, let's go. Michelle?
I
Hi, I
have a
can't see
question.
myself.
Oh, okay, good.
That's probably good.
Hello, Michelle.
Hi,
Hello,
Michelle. We
how
can
are
see you.
you?
I'm
You
well. How are
can
you?
see me.
Yes.
I'm good. I'm at the moment in Nashville, but I'm coming back to Denmark. I've been here for the last 3 years, working at the HBCU,
Mhm.
and which is a Black university, just to explain.
Mhm.
Um, I'm interested in, I was kind of interested in Japan, also speaking to you about Noto, and just curious about how does this translation work? So that's, I mean, I've been in many different places and worked with different types of people, so I'm very curious about, I mean, I know how to chat, but I don't know if I mean, I can translate. I did once in China, I think I started taking photographs to communicate with people. So things like that, like in terms of communication, how does that work?
We will really take care of you. Um,
Thank you. I'm
because
still asking.
going to the countryside of Japan without anyone practically holding your hands will be such a difficult task. So we will always have someone that will engage with you, that will help you navigate Noto and its surrounding, Wajima, Ishikawa. Of course, it's very important to be curious and but yeah, we'll make sure your stay will not be something that you regret. It will be a stay where you would absolutely share with other people, because without that, then there's no point going there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
I
Michelle.
find that, in Ghana, we have over 50 languages.
That's correct.
And I do not speak the language of the people in the Upper West. But I find that when I'm going to ask somebody a question and I'm gesticulating or whatever it is, somebody comes along and says, and offers to be my translator. So I think you just need to, be, show that you want to engage with somebody, and somebody would come along and help with translation. So that's what I do. I just kind of like start making,
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. I think effort has a lot to do with it. If you make an effort, a lot of people will be out there to support and help you get your point across. But yes, we would make sure you are taken care of.
Mhm.
One more question,
Sure.
and it's about both of the musical influences, because if I would be coming, I probably would come with my husband, who is a musician and a producer, and I'm kind of interested, what is the music in both places? How about that? Be very open. What is the music? I mean, is there a music scene or a kind of musicians living in both environments? So yeah, this is completely off the rack. So it's not with art, but it's with music, just out of curiosity.
Well, I suppose I did mention that we'll cater for music producers and sound engineers and artists in the musical performance world. And all these has to be cleared up before, but we always thinking about pairing people up. So whoever is in music, we'll find someone else, and we'll put together a project together. And so it's all about letting us know your intentions, and we'll make sure these things are all aligned for you before you get there. We already have a few. We've already curated a few events lined up. We have a local, very known, well, not local, but very known Japanese artist, music, who's willing to work with us. So at some point we can call him in and pair people up, kind of thing, and that's the whole value of what we do, trying to find existing creative, really established people that are also curious, and connect them with up and coming or even established people from the rest of the world, the part of the world that are also very curious, and put them all together. Because for me, that's where the magic lies, that meeting point, that tension. That's where new work usually comes from.
Mhm.
So thank you. And I can't hear you guys anymore. I don't know why, but somehow, but I had text underneath. So I will maybe I have to get off and then I can hear.
Okay.
But thank you.
You're welcome.
I can at least read the text.
Okay.
So that's good. All right.
Since you can read the
Thank
text,
you.
Odile, maybe you should also chip in on the
Oh,
music
okay.
scene in WA, just to round off the question.
Yeah, I was thinking actually. I mean, the northern part of belt of Ghana, they have their own peculiar instruments, the string instruments, the xylophones. So yeah, we haven't had anyone on the music side. Again, I guess it's about letting us know what you're interested in. In fact, one of Ghana's very famous musicians called Wiala comes from the Upper West, a few, I don't know, about hours drive from the Wa. She's also performed in a festival before. So I guess, yeah, if we know in advance somebody's interest, then we also go out searching and then see what the beautiful minds can bring can put together. Yeah.
Awesome. So what I'm gathering is that in both spaces, the residency experience is very customizable based off of what you're hoping to achieve at the end.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Do we have any more burning questions?
Yes.
It's Andrea. I have a question, but I'm having a little technical issues here with the camera and stuff.
We can
But
hear you.
you can hear me great. Facilities. What are the facilities in both places, really? As an artist, if you want to create something, I mean, you talked about there being a studio, but is there anything in the space, or what kind of facilities are there that one could work with?
Are you talking about T-Wabisato?
I'm talking about T-Wabisato, yeah.
Yes. We do have a small studio, and we're working on figuring out what to place into it. But I think the whole core of this concept is not just leaving you alone, but pairing you up with different people that you can work with. So it would be an idea for us to know what you want to do first. We'll find an artist that works in the same sphere as you want to work in, and you be able to piggyback on their studio or their space. And
Okay.
practically that's the value of why you want to go all the way to Noto, I suppose.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, okay. I get it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Of course, we do have a studio if you want to work on your own as well, but I suppose it's just that meeting point.
Yeah.
Where the value
Yeah.
lies. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
No more questions? Okay. In the absence of further questions, I would love to close this webinar off with some contact information. So, Odile and T. Michael, if you could share your contact information or your team's contact information in case someone is feeling a bit shy or remembers their question later and wants to reach out to you, that would be great.
No problem at all. You can either go to our website, which is t-wabisato.com, or you can email me at tmichael@t-wabisato.com, or you can mail the rest of the team at info@t-wabisato.com. But if you didn't get any of those, just go to the website. It's all there.
Yeah.
Okay. And Odile, any contact information you'd like to share?
Yeah, same. I mean, I think I shared the maybe I put here the manager at the center in the Upper West. His name is
Okay.
Kwabna Admari. So you can contact him directly.
Okay.
Or as you know, I think when you get onto the website as well, we pick up all those messages as
Okay.
well.
Okay, perfect. So both contact information are in the chat room. I will just leave the meeting running for a little bit in case anyone wants to write that down. But thank you so, so much, Odile, and thank you, T. Michael, for making the time to join us today. We deeply appreciate it. And we look
Thank
forward
you.
to further collaboration with you. Hopefully, I will be visiting one of these spaces soon. I just visited Nubuke, so next on my list is T-Wabisato. I'd love
Japan.
to see it. Exactly. Japan is on my to-go list this year. So
You
I
should.
might just, side quest all the way to Noto to see T-Wabisato. But thank you so much for joining us. And we wish you a wonderful rest of your week.